Welcome, Climate Viewers. This is Jim Lee from ClimateViewer News at ClimateViewer.com. It is August 28th, 2021, and we're going to talk about Hurricane Ida, steering lightning with lasers, and absolute zero, or shall we call it absolute climate control. Man, it's been an interesting hiatus from regular broadcasting on the ClimateViewer Broadcasting News Network system. I'd like to thank you for all tuning back in and those who participated in my test broadcast earlier. I'm going to give a quick look to see if it's actually, we're live on Facebook this time. And it looks like we are, so I was able to fix that. Good to know. Shout out to everybody watching on Facebook. And we are live on DLive.tv/ClimateViewer. Obviously on my YouTube channel. That's where I see Poopy Parker and Cora. Thank you guys for tuning in. And looks like, let's see, there's the twitch.tv/ClimateViewer up. We shall see. And it looks like it is because it's not letting me watch it, so it must be live. All right. Looks like I didn't break anything this time, and that's a good thing. So let's just dive right into the news, and I'm going to check all this stuff off, check my boxes and cross my T's, dot my I's, and let's do this thing live. So I'm going to hop over here, and we're going to go ahead and talk about Hurricane Ida to begin with. Hurricane Ida is barreling toward U.S., may approach Gulf Coast as a Category 4 storm. For those of you who are wanting to track this in real time, I haven't really covered this in quite a while. I have this little thing. Thank you, Kara. I love the new background. I've been looking for this quite a while, and it finally made its way back to me. Fate goes in circles. For those who are wanting to track this in real time, I have a great tool for you. It's called ClimateViewer 3D. It's available at climateviewer.org/3D. Link in chat. Click that bad boy, bookmark it, and make sure you store it someplace safe. Over here on the left-hand side, you can see a map list button, and I've got the satellite view up. You can click the little arrows right here. Let me make this full screen, and you can basically control all of this, make it transparent, change the brightness on it and all that sort of thing to see the satellite imagery. And you can see right there is Ida. This is its current location. These are all live data along with, let me turn the satellite off. You can see all of the storm warnings that are being put out by NOAA. Simply clicking on them will usually bring up the information. Tropical storm warning, wind damage, feature hurricane warning, wind on land. These are all coming straight from the NOAA stuff, and you can check the small craft advisory all the way out to Florida. And this is the path that it's supposed to take. So keep that in mind. Pray for all the people in the Gulf Coast that are going to be dealing with that. And it looks like it's going to make its way right back up to the New York area and Rhode Island, where they just recently got a whole lot of rain dumped on them. So hope you guys aren't flooded out up there. But you could check all of that by going to alerts and weather. Go to hurricane and tropical storms and just bring up the hurricane tracking layer here. In addition to that, you can bring up the rain and snow. Once it actually makes landfall, if you want to, you can bring up things like what the rain forecasts are going to look like. If you click like this right here, it'll tell you over the next 5 days what the rainfall is expected to be. And as you can see right here, we're talking, this is 3 inches in this area. Let me zoom in some here because I know that they're expecting very large amounts in this area. 15 inches right there expected. So we're going to see a lot of rainfall with this hurricane, as we do with all hurricanes. But check out ClimateViewer 3D if you want to track all this stuff in real time. And that's why I built it. I hope you guys will use it. And, Stone Lee, my brother from another mother up in Canada. How you doing, brother? Shauna, Rebecca, appreciate you guys tuning in. Linda, Timsy, thank you for tuning in, guys. For those who missed it, I was recently on the Tinfoil Hat Podcast with Sam Tripoli. Dropped the link in chat. You guys have got to watch this interview. Probably the most fun I've had on an interview in the last 10 years. And I'm not exaggerating. Warning, F-bombs aplenty. Sam is a comedian. There was a lot of laughter, but a lot of information. And I had tons of fun on this show. I will be mirroring this video on my channel approximately 2 weeks after August 20th when it was posted, because we made an agreement about it. But you'll be able to see it on my channel in the future. But do some support and go to samtripoli.com and look at episode 483 of the Tinfoil Hat Podcast and check it out. It is absolutely phenomenal. Had a blast, and damn, it was funny. I was also on Into the Paranormal with Jeremy Scott. This is on my channel on YouTube. Weathering the Storm with Jim Lee. And we had a great time there too. Check it out. I premiered it on the channel August 15th. And you guys probably missed this one, but I was also on Grimerica, and we talked about the climate changers and water wars, technocracy, geoengineering, and replacing the water cycle. The link to, I didn't drop the link to the last video. Let me do that. Shaboom. And a link to the Grimerica video. Here you go. There you go. So check those out. I have been busy, doing some interviews with other people. So I'm not just totally sitting, with my, sitting on my hands. Of course, most of you know that I am currently busy retooling weathermodificationhistory.com. That is coming closer and closer to a close. I'm looking forward to getting the new version out there. I can barely freaking wait to show y'all what I've been doing over the last year with that. And Google Scholar and the search engines are going to have a field day with weathermodificationhistory.com. So very proud of the work I did on that. Looking forward to it. In the news, and I probably, let me pull this over here real quick because I don't want to show all my emails off, but I like to give credit where credit is due. Let me see this. That's not him. Jacob Ludma. Jacob, thank you for sending me these, because boy, I found this interesting. Got this in an email and I had to share it with you guys. A super laser on Santis Mountain. Trump F. The Trump fires up a laser lightning rod in Swiss Alps. Trump and University of Geneva successfully conduct first experiments in EU laser lightning rod project. Trump super laser lies at the heart of the system. We fire 1,000 laser pulses per second to discharge the lightning safely, says the laser developer Herr Comer. This is very fascinating. And it goes back to some stuff that I've been talking about for quite some time. And that is that you can steer lightning with a laser. Now, of course, this is just some text. They've got a picture of the laser right here on top of the mountain. Trump F and the University of Geneva have put a laser lightning rod into operation on the 2,500 meter Santis. Some other images here. Pretty cool stuff. and creepy at the same time. And you notice that there's a rocket right next to it. And the reason why is it looks like a rocket, at least. There's been a history of lightning striking rocket launches, even the space shuttles. And, they've been trying to come up with a laser lightning rod for quite some time. Well, over here, is all the meat and potatoes on this, but of course it's in German. Here, let me drop that link for you guys in chat. Can't make this stuff up, right? So here's the original, and I will translate it for you, which I did here. I went to Google Translate, and bam, you can see all of this now in English. Laser cannon on Santis is to become modern lightning rod. A team of researchers wants to use a giant laser to guide flashes in a targeted manner. There is a test facility on Santis, and all the information's right there. If you guys want to check it out, I don't know if this link will go through on the chat, but I'll send you the translate also. Pretty fascinating stuff. Like a very long spaghetti, a strong laser beam is directed past the top of the tower into the thundercloud. The otherwise insulating air is ionized. Along this beam, electrons are released and conductive plasma channel is created. Now, everybody understands that, well, most people should, that electricity follows the path of least resistance. So by creating an ionized channel in the air, the electricity of the lightning bolt will literally follow that down to the ground. Don't believe me? Well, let's flash back to 2014. And this was all the way back in October of 2014. HARP, Project Nimbus, and the Fire of the Gods. So I've been, covering this for quite a long time. And as you can see, I used the Thundercats logo and HARP in the background. God, you got to love the old references. The sad part is that half this audience is too young to even remember what Thundercats is, so Google it. But regardless, I talk about, things like the ELF transmitters, how HARP works, and all of that sort of thing. And then we get down into lightning. You see a whole lot of this on my thing. And this was DARPA Project Nimbus. Anyway, video deleted, clearly. This video is unavailable, which happens more and more, which is why next I'll be updating ClimateViewer.com. Weather as a force multiplier, owning the weather in 2025. Many of you have heard about this paper, but did you catch this line? This is important research for military operations and resource protection, but some offensive military benefit could be attained by doing research on increasing the potential and intensity of lightning. Concepts to explore include increasing the basic efficiency of thunderstorm, stimulating and triggering mechanisms that initiate the bolt, and triggering lightning, such as that which struck the Apollo 12 in 1968. Like I said, the history of lightning bolts striking rockets, and this in a weather warfare document in the Air Force 2025 papers, specifically saying that we should find offensive military benefit from being able to trigger lightning bolts and or steer them. So that's a serious problem. And as you can see here, rocket triggered lightning from University of Florida. And in these videos, let me turn the music down. In these videos, what you'll actually see is a straight freaking lightning bolt. And what they're actually doing is firing basically a rocket up into the air that has a wire behind it. And what you're going to see is that as the wire goes up, the lightning bolt literally follows that wire down to the ground. So they've been doing this for quite a long time, using rocket triggered systems. Anyway, I talk a little bit about blue jets, elves, and sprites. read the article if you like. I'll post it one more time in chat for those who are interested in the subject, because just Google Terra Mobile. Terra Mobile is in the article. I see some of the guys in chat are already on this. I love that you guys know your stuff. We have such an educated group of climate viewers in chat. Bravo to you people. So anyway, you scroll down here. This is a close-up of what a rocket-triggered lightning looks like, and this is at the University of Florida, where they actually have a wire going up, and they fire a rocket into the cloud, and then they trigger the lightning bolt. Beautiful, beautiful shot of it right there. University of Florida Lightning Research Group rocket triggered lightning at the International Center for Lightning Research and Testing at Camp Blanding, Florida. That was October 1994, and they show how the system works right here, intercepting wires, intercepting, poles to measure everything to catch the current. One of the things they even talk about is, being able to harness the electricity of lightning bolts by channeling lightning into a collector of sorts. Shift DF on Twitch. Yes, I'm live on DLive.tv/ClimateViewer and on YouTube and on my Facebook page right now. I will drop links to those right now in chat. If you give me just 1 second. Twitch is a bitch. Let's just put it that way. So hope you got that. And my YouTube channel, let me copy it from here. For those who are playing along at home on other crappier streaming services, this is my home page. For those who don't have it, it is youtube.com/c/Jim Lee-ClimateViewer, or just search for Jim Lee ClimateViewer. DLive for those who hate the Silicon Mafia and don't want to be on any of the above platforms. Head over to DLive. And I'm always looking for new services to use, which also brings me to the point. Everything I'm doing is open source, free of charge. All of my articles, all my videos, you can download them. You can do whatever you want to with them, as long as you link back to the originals and give credit where credit is due. All I ask is that you guys continue to support my work. You can do that by giving a monthly donation at patreon.com/ClimateViewer, or a one-time donation on PayPal or GoFundMe. That's always greatly appreciated. But I don't do this for the money. I do this for the educational purposes, because nobody else does it like this guy, right? Sure. So please hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell. And if not, check out one of the other services. You can get it where you like, and hopefully coming to many more services in the near future. Love you, mean it. So let's get back to this thing. And I bring the picture back up. So dressed laser aimed at clouds may be key to inducing rain and lightning. And a dressed laser is ultimately you could artificially control the rain and lightning over large expanse with such ideas. $7.5 million grant from the Department of Defense, where they have the laser, and then the dressed laser, where they actually fire a secondary laser into the first laser. Oh my God, it's starting to get really crazy. Terawatt laser beam shot in clouds provokes lightning strike. This is Terra Mobile, which many of the people already have talked about in the chat. This is what Terra Mobile looks like. And yes, this article is dated 2014. So it's always good to go back and bring up some of the older material that I've brought, that I've covered, by showing that this is from 2021 and people still don't know about this topic. And I think that it's always good to bring up, the old material that kind of gives an overall, coverage of what the hell's going on here, how it relates to the Stanford group, how it relates to HAARP, the holographic array for ionospheric lightning, hail, and how all of these they're intertwined, and the military's knee deep in the middle of it, and DARPA and all your 3-letter agencies. So that brings us to the last topic. Now, if you guys haven't checked this out, it's over on the Corbett report. I'd actually heard about this PDF before finding out that he had covered it. But interestingly enough, I have a different version of it that was emailed to me. He links to it right here in the center, and it says, Absolute Zero, delivering the UK's climate change commitment with incremental changes to today's technologies. So imagine, if you will, we have, the Paris Climate Accord, COP21. We have Agenda 21. We have Agenda 2030. We have the new Green Deal. And now we have Absolute Zero. And it is absolutely crazy when you start to dig into this PDF. He links to one that was on ukfires.org. This is obviously a WordPress. This is WordPress content, uploads 2019, Absolute Zero online. And in it, they go through, a lot of details. This one's like a single page version of the PDF, which makes it kind of hard to understand, because you get to sections where they have like this, and I have a much better copy of it that was sent to me in an email, and I'll bring it up so that you can see it side by side, and it makes much more sense. But as you can see, they've got everything from 2020 through 2029, where we're at on everything from road vehicles to rail, flying, shipping, heating, appliances, food, mining, material production, construction, manufacturing, electricity, fossil fuels, 2030 through 2049, 2050, Absolute Zero, and then beyond 2050. And it pretty much lays out in one graphic, exactly what their plans are. So if you guys want to see that, I'll send you here's the original Wayback Machine version. I can't exactly email you a link to where I got this PDF from, for reasons that I will plead the fifth on. But regardless, you can still get the same material from the Corbett report. By the way, if anybody knows that fella, I'd love to do an interview with him sometime. Regardless, this all works into something called, Green Pass. Interestingly enough, this is some creepy crap. Let me just refresh the page so you guys can see it from the beginning, because it's pretty interesting. Pretty freaking weird to boot. Green Pass. We accept the challenges. We can build greener cities and control all of your things, including the sun, because boy, that sun is hot. Look at the dog. Isn't that pretty? Don't you think these green-covered palaces, trees, and everything would be so much better? I personally think planting trees is the way to go. But, the 1 trillion tree initiative, I support that fully, but I don't know that this is going to be a reality or not. But regardless, this is basically urban heat islands, air pollution, and pluvial floodings. Municipalities, planners, and developers need to take action to solve urban growth and climate change. Introducing Green Pass. 4 tools all in one. You got a web-like interface that's kind of a CAD, computer-assisted design interface, where they can, when they're laying out cities and they're making their changes, they can consider all of the climate. I got stuck reading chat. Excuse me. Spray can in. Do you see the little dragon? It's right there. Spray Can Ann in chat made me a ClimateViewer Dragon. You know what? I'm gonna bring it over here just to show everybody. So Spray Can Ann is in chat right now, and she made me this beautiful thing. It is my ClimateViewer Dragon. Get off there here. My little ClimateViewer logo. And my little ball earth that spins. And this is one of my most prized possessions because I was born in the year of the dragon. And I absolutely love it. And big shout out to Spray Can Ann, who's in YouTube chat. It's always right here in the background. And you guys will now know what the heck that thing is back there. Anyway, so this is the new Green Deal. This is the new green agenda for absolute zero and the push to basically control every single aspect of design of your life. From birth to death, from every carbon fart you make to every time you burn wood at a campfire. There are the technocrats who are going to try to control it. So I'm going to go ahead and summarize by saying, what do I know about graphene? I know that I've heard my inbox has been flooded with two things. There's graphene in all the vaccines, and there's graphene in all the chemtrails. And it's pretty amusing to me how these trends tend to happen. And I haven't seen anything concrete, but let me tell you a funny little story about graphene. So basically, a guy had basically a bottle of some chemical. It actually tipped over and it fell in a CD burner on a computer. And they burned the CD, and it turned out that the CD had a layer on top of it. And they pulled this film off, and that's how graphene was invented. Graphene is a superconductor. It works like a capacitor. It can charge very rapidly and exponentially more than current capacitors put out a massive amount of charge. It is basically carbon, liquid carbon that's been, laser shot into it. It could be carbon nanotubes for that matter. But graphene is going to be most influential in the battery industry. It will literally revolutionize the entire battery industry if they ever, get their feces consolidated. But yes, I have heard I've been watching the communication channels. My inbox has been flooded with a whole lot of questions about chemtrails and vaccines filled with graphene. I'll look into it, but just like everything else I deal with, I only deal in facts that I can prove. And I'm not going to come on here and try to bullshit you. This is not your info-fucking-tainment channel. This is information to provide you with credible sources that you can use to make a difference in this world. So with that being said, everything I do it because I care about getting the truth out there. There are plenty of channels that deal in conspiracy theories. I deal in conspiracy facts. And those facts are backed by your support. I appreciate everybody that supports me on Patreon. I'm going to be changing that up to where in the very near future, I will be listing my patrons on every video. I hope to be doing that in the near future. And I'm going to work out the different tiers and all that sort of thing. And anybody who supports me through donations at PayPal and GoFundMe, those go directly to me, my family, and supporting the work that I do on here. I do intend on using some of the donations to try to purchase a new camera in the future. I've been doing everything I can to try to upgrade this broadcast. And as you can see, I did get a video capture card finally, so I'm not on a regular webcam. I bought some pretty expensive lights. but I'm using a GoPro right now. It's not the highest quality thing in the world, but I do want to upgrade that and eventually get to, a soundboard and all that sort of thing so that I can do, call-ins and things like that. But all of your support is always greatly appreciated, and everybody who tunes in and shares this material. Understand, I've been shadow banned for the better part of 5 years. I was shadow banned before shadow banned was a publicly known term. So you guys sharing it out, sharing it via emails, however you can, to get the message out there. Please share my websites, ClimateViewer.com, ClimateViewer.org, and WeatherModificationHistory.com. Please share these videos. Feel free to download them and re-upload them on BitChute, wherever you can. I would greatly appreciate that. Please link back to the original so they know where to find me and how to contact me. My email is jim@climateviewer.com if you ever want to reach me by email. And like I've always said, with information comes power, and with power comes great responsibility. So please remember to use the information that I provide to you on broadcasts like this to attack ideas, not people. And now a word from our sponsors.
Kids are impressionable. That's why here at this station, we watch the programs and commercials your child watches carefully. He may see bad guys, but not in the role of heroes. And he'll learn that crime doesn't pay. Because your child's welfare is our concern, too. That's part of our code.
Better than anything you can get without a prescription. Anything. It's the best.
If this video resonates with you, leave me a comment because I love hearing from y'all. First time here, be sure to subscribe and click the bell. The bell doesn't always work, so come to ClimateViewer.com and sign up for our newsletter. Remember, it would be impossible for me to do this without your support, so please join my Patreon or buy me a coffee on PayPal. And always, attack ideas, not people. Have a great day, climate viewers. Love you, mean it.